With the router, you have received two cooling pumps, one for the spindle cooling and one for the milling cooling. You have also received one control box. You already have a computer. How to connect the control box and the cooling pumps I will not show. It's too simple and you cannot make mistake here. But to connect the control box with the computer, you need a USB cable and you need a program to make that work. So I will show how to install that program. In the computer, you need Mach3. And maybe you have also purchased a remote hand wheel control, and I will show how to install that. You have probably already got a Mach3 program with the router, but it's not the real program, it's just a trial version. And I had problems with mine, so I recommend that you download it instead. So you go to Mach3, here we have that address, and you press download. Later on, this is the button you use when you buy the license. Then you will get an email with your license code that you paste into the program. I will show that later. But first we just download the trial version. So, and here we have it. And when you install this, it will end up on your C drive. If you make nothing else, so just double click on this one. I will not do it since I will overwrite my already existing one. This is how your folder looks when you have installed it on your C drive. The tricky thing now is to get the USB cable to work. So you will find that program and paste it into this folder, just somewhere here. So you have the file on a disk that came with the cable. So we'll just find that program and paste it here. And you do the same if you have the hand control. You just find the program for that one and just paste it here as well. And if you buy the proper license from Mach3, you just download that file and just paste it into here somewhere. And it will start to work. And then you will find a file called Mach3 exe. I don't have it anymore since I've already installed it, but you press that one. And then you choose to install mill. And then you will have the program on your screen. Now we have installed the program, and I will make a quick tour before we do the setup. You can see this program is licensed to me. The main difference between the trial version and the licensed version is that you can only run, I think, maybe 500 lines of code in the trial version. So if you do CAD/CAM, it's usually not enough. So we make a quick tour here first. In this area, this is where you run your programs. You just file, load G-code, and you find your program, and it will end up in this window. And you just start and stop the program with these buttons. Here you can see the coordinate systems. There is two. One, the machine 0, and then you have the part 0 coordinate system. And you jump between them with this button if you want to see which one. When you have located your part 0, you will make 0 on all axes. And before that, you will ref all home, but I will show that later. In this window, you can run the machine manually. For example, if I want to move X, I will make X 10, enter. You can see here, it moved to X10. I can start the spindle. I will first give it the speed, S for speed, I think 10,000. And then I will start it to run clockwise. So M3 to start it clockwise. M3, enter. And now we are running offline, so the machine is not running, but it shows that it wants to run. And if you want to see those G codes and M codes, you will find them here. Toolpath, I have never used. Offsets, I have never used. Settings. If you want to calibrate your machine to make it really perfect, you use this area. Just press the button, answer a couple of questions, and you will have a very accurate machine. Diagnostics. Here you will probably looking when you install your limit end switches. So you will see if there is a problem or not. I can do an example. I have my machine next to me, and I can just, that's my end switch for the Z axis. So I'm just pressing the sensor so you can see how it works. So now we will do the setup that is needed to get the machine working. You will do all of them in config. We will look at the ports and pins, motor tuning, and homing and limits. I think that should be enough. When you got the machine, you also got the manual, what to fill in where. So, but I will show you here anyway. So we go into ports and pins. I will not explain everything, so you can just look at the screen, how I have made my setup, and this works for my CNC 6040. So just take them slowly. Motor outputs, input signals. I will show them slowly. So you have this in your manual that you got with the machine. So, and output signals. If you copy this, you can use the pause button. Encoder, cannot change anything here. Spindle setup. This is my settings, and they work for my machine, mill operation. And remember to use apply before OK, else it will not save your changes. I made that mistake in the beginning. So now I have looked at the first one, ports and pins. Now we will take motor tuning. So you go into your axis. First you start with your x-axis. You write down these numbers if you want. They work with my machine. And then you go to X one, and then you go to the Z one. And then just press OK. And then we have homing and limits. It should look like this. So I hope I have not forgot anything, but to double check, you can look at in the manual that you did get from, I guess, China CNC Zone. And if you have lost it, you can just email them and they will send you a new one. But the manual is really bad. So if you got it right, you should be able to press reset and all alarms should go away. And that also makes so you can change things. If you have hand control, that's good. But if you don't have it, just press tab once and you will have this type of hand control instead. So you can run, you can see X moving, Y moving. So you can use this one as well. If you press tab again, it will go away. So my son will help me to show how it works. Press tab to open the virtual hand control and then press X to move the machine. Perfect. And then you press tab to remove the virtual hand control, and then you go to next page, this page. And then we'll test the spindle. So we give the spindle a speed. So write S1000 for speed. Yes, 1000, correct, enter. And then we start it clockwise, so write M5. M5, perfect, enter. Oh, sorry, M3. Write M3 instead, I said wrong. Enter. So now we will change the speed. Write S2000 for a new speed. S2000. Enter. So, and then you can write M5 to stop the spindle. Enter. Perfect. And then you can go to the first page again to program run. And you can make the reference all home. The long button. This one. Yep. This button. No. This. Yes. So now we make the reference on the machine. So it goes all the way back to the 0 point, and that's really needed if you're going to run CAN programs. You really need to start to give the machine a 0.